alone is 500.
So you can get this in the bookshops?
In the local bookshops, or order directly from me.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is In Pursuit of Growth?
Yes. So In Pursuit of Growth is a simple book that is set on one basis. You want to move forward. You want to grow. What are the foundational steps you have? What is the foundation you have to lay for you to keep going forward? This is a book that I wrote some time back in 2020, immediately after Corona, or before the Corona ended.
Yes.
Because so many people were hit by Corona and they were lost in total confusion. And most people couldn't find a way to move or to eject themselves from the situation that was going around.
Yes.
So I put together their thoughts, the right mindset to get you going once again. So it's for someone who feels stuck, someone who's been hit by a situation and they want to now move forward.
You want to wriggle out
from a situation.
You know what we said the last time about guard
your heart.
Your heart. With all diligence.
Yes.
For out of it are the outcomes and the boundaries and the issues of life.
Yes.
So one of the things that you do to get yourself out or to change the issues is to change your heart.
Yes.
Because the scripture says all these issues come from the heart.
Yes.
And obviously
the heart that we are talking about is the subconscious mind.
Yes.
It's the subconscious mind. So long as you can work on your subconscious, then your boundaries keep moving according to how you're working on them.
Let me give you an example.
Yes.
You know, as we've been speaking, I don't know whether I gave this example before. My dream car is a Range Rover.
Yes.
And in the world in the unseen world, I have it.
Yes.
So one time I had gone to Thika Road and I was planning to go to one of the car yard just, you know, and see the vehicle.
Yes.
Because I know exactly which one I want to get. So when I was going there, all of a sudden, it was like something hit me and I started feeling somewhat unworthy of the vehicle. I've not even gotten to the car yard. I am feeling unworthy of the vehicle. As in, and it hit me hard.
Yes.
Because I came and I passed. And I realized these are the boundaries
that have limited you.
Yes, that have set and have kept me from achieving,
from getting the car you want.
Or getting what I want.
Yes.
So I decided I was going to work on that boundary because I knew where it was coming from. I knew this scripture is so key. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the boundaries of your life.
Yes.
So I worked on me.
Yes.
And I decided the other day, I went. Now I didn't go to a car yard.
Yes.
I went to the Range Rover, to the Land Rover HQ.
Yes.
Just close to, it's in Westlands. I went there and I went in. I saw the vehicles touched. I told them that's the one I want. I was taken to it.
Yes.
Got a feel of it. And I broke that boundary.
Wow.
So this scripture is so real.
Absolutely.
It is so real.
It's so real.
So as you're saying, in this pursuit of growth, situations came and you found yourself
caged somewhere in your mind.
Yes.
Yes.
You have boundaries that have been set around
yourself. Yes.
For you to break them, you have to break them here in the subconscious.
First.
Yes.
Before you break them physically. And that is, you get the right knowledge.
Yes.
You address the fears the way, you remember what we said, you have to address those fears, write each of them, and then overcome each of them. And then you extend your boundaries. Boundaries are always there because there are new grounds that we haven't reached. For example, you are focusing on that car. Maybe for me, I'm focusing on a home, owning a home.
Yes.
Maybe I have a car already. So we always have a new territory to conquer.
Yes.
And what you need is the right mindset. And that's
and all that All that is captured in this book.
Very well in the book.
This is something worth getting. It will help you. After we started this conversation, that's a time I started understanding that scripture. You know, how our heart set the boundaries. And the boundaries are set based on the information you're receiving.
Yes.
Because you tend to receive information from two sources. You receive information from your outward man,
yes,
who is, you know, governed by the five senses,
yes,
or from the inward man,
the spirit,
who is governed by, you know, again, information you get from the word.
Yes.
So if you get the right information, it will open up those boundaries and move them. And once you've moved the boundaries, they say that your body can only go where your mind has been.
It's already been, yes.
Yes. So you got to get your mind there first, then your body will follow. So, do you mind giving out your number?
No, I don't mind. My number is 0719-489-372. 0719-489-372.
Maybe Alice will get that number at some point and put it somewhere there, so that you see whether you can get In Pursuit of Growth and Self-Discovery for Self-Recovery.
Wow.
Now, this same mindset plays out majorly in relationship.
So much.
Right now, if you look at statistics,
yes,
the church and the world are having almost equal divorce
yes,
rates in the country.
yes,
There was a time where divorce was almost a taboo
yes,
within the church. But right now, it is happening even probably more than it's happening in the world.
yes, that's true.
As these relationships are not lasting. And since today we are trying to see the mindset for a lasting relationship, how do we build this? First and foremost, what happens so that this mindset is so eroded that you don't want to see one another?
Okay, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for that question. Now, when it comes to relationships, the one thing that makes a relationship last is purely intimacy. If intimacy is built, there is no external factor, not a single factor that has been proven to break a relationship. Not even cheating, not even money, which are some of the highest reasons that are said to be the causes for divorce.
Yes.
Those things, people with deep intimacy survive those things. But where there is no intimacy, a simple reason as how you eat, how you match your food, Mr. Friend, is enough reason to be left.
Yes.
Yes, how you dress up.
Yeah, I've heard
how
people
you talk.
leaving one another because, oh man, he pushes, toothpaste from the top.
From the top instead of the bottom, you know.
And it becomes irreconcilable.
Irreconcilable difference. He eats food
Chews loudly.
Loudly, you
Yes.
know. There are funny things. His socks smells
Yes.
and stuff like that. So long as there is no intimacy, every reason is reason enough for people to separate.
Yes.
So even as we talk about the right mindset of building lasting relationship,
Yes.
we are really going down into one key aspect, building intimacy into a relationship. You see, even with God, the person who has the highest level of intimacy can almost get everything, even the things you don't expect God to do. And
As in with God also, any relationship, even with God, intimacy is that he does not have favorites.
Fuel is the
Yes.
fuel that keeps the relationship. I don't know if even the word fuel is good, but let's say grease.
Yes.
It is the grease that keeps the relationship grinding, and no matter what the situation is. You can take a few scriptures from the Bible. You can see someone like Moses. Or one day the guys were against him, and God said, may the ground open and swallow you, and pop, the ground opened and they were swallowed. If you check the relationship of Elisha with God, one day the small boys cast his bald head and he said, may you be eaten by, I don't know if it was foxes or what.
Bears.
Yes. And it happened. So you wonder, how come some of these prayers are answered? They don't seem to be the realistic prayers we would prefer. But these men are coming out of a place of intimacy, such that when you touch them, you have touched God himself. And anything that comes from the mouth of these men can happen. It's an issue of intimacy. So now the same way in a relationship, it's how we build the intimacy, that we build the heart of forgiveness, the heart of acceptance,
somebody will ask, intimacy is such a humongous word. What is intimacy?
All right, I'd like to use two definitions. One definition comes from the Bible, and it says, they were both naked and they were not ashamed. That is intimacy. Being able to open yourself up for your partner, for the other person to see you for who you are. Not for who you want to be seen as, but for who you are. They can see your fears, they can see your desires, they can see your wishes, they can see your plans, they can see your hopes and everything. That is intimacy. The second definition I would like to allude to is that one of T.D. Jakes. He says intimacy equals to intimacy.
Or intimacy.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's an invitation to see me, or for me to be vulnerable with you, so that you can get a deep understanding of me. Sometimes we judge people, or we refuse to accept them because we don't know them. We haven't seen things from the plane they are seeing the same things. And that builds a distance from us. So we are more judgmental than we are forgiving. More pushing, rejectful than we are accommodating, because we haven't seen them for who we are. So intimacy is all about being able to see the people around you for who they truly are, so that you can accept them and work with them, with their weaknesses, with their strengths, and with whatever they have with them. Yes, that is intimacy.
So once you understand what that intimacy is the key thing.
It's the key thing.
How do you build then a mindset for intimacy?
Yes.
A mindset that is seeking to know this person, to chase after the knowledge of this individual, be it God or be it another human being,
a spouse or a son or a daughter. Yes.
So that and your pursuit of seeking to know them is a pursuit of not seeking to be judgmental.
Yes. Wow, thank you. Now, when it comes to building intimacy, there are
because probably just to add on, because the more I know you, the more I may see some things that I don't like.
Yes, but that is only on the first plane.
Yes.
I want people to get this because it is very true. The more you, for example, when we meet on the road, you don't know much about me. But when you sit close to me, the negative always comes out fast.
Yes.
That is the obvious things.
Yes.
So you will notice some of my weaknesses. You'll see some of my downsides fast. But that is not the end of me. So if you stop at the first level, like let's say level A, then you are yet to know me. You are yet to know me. You must now push to get into the second level, the third level, and ask yourself, why is it that he manches this way? Why is it that he presses the toothbrush from the top instead of the bottom? Now you are seeking to know the reasons behind what you might judge. Now, if you go that deep, you might find justified reasons of why I do this. And allow me to borrow a bit from my man called Pastor Kingsley Okwonko. He said that There was one time he was in Dubai, and he had finished his meeting very late at night, at around 1 a.m. And he went on to take a cab. When he took a cab, the driver was chewing and as he drove the car. So after 5 minutes, he couldn't take it. He literally couldn't take it. So he stopped him and gave him a motivation speech. Told him, you can't do this. You can't punish your customer. This is very unethical. This is lack of etiquette. This is, I can't handle it. And the guy told him, you know what? I didn't sleep during the day. I had to work 24 hours and I'm running now to a 48-hour shift because something happened at home and I couldn't sleep. My child had an issue and now I had to come back to work. So as I chew this way now, I'm keeping myself awake so that I can drive you to where you are. And immediately the pastor changed his mind. He asked him, do you have some ball gum? I'm going to help you chew. Let us chew, my brother. Chew on, chew on. I don't want to die today, so chew on. So sometimes if you leave it at the basic level, it is very easy to misunderstand people.
Actually, that's a great example. I read another example more or less towards the same in the 7 habits of highly effective
people. Yes.
Now, he gives a story where this man got into the train together with his children.
Yes.
And this man was lost in his thought. And his children were making so much noise.
Yes.
Interrupting people who are reading newspapers. A lot of noise, and people are really getting mad.
Yes.
And you know, they're just looking at this old man, this man who is seated just lost in his thought, and wondering, what kind of an irresponsible man are you? That you're letting your children just make noise everywhere, disrupt everybody.
Yes.
And then, so what the guy next to him told him, hey, wake up, man. You have to take responsibility for your children. And then he came back to, he said, I'm sorry. He told them, we've just come from the hospital where I have lost my wife and these children have lost their mother. And then he said, maybe my getting lost in my thought is the way that I'm processing the death.
Yes.
And then making noise is the way they are processing the death of their mother.
Yes.
Immediately, all the people who had their attitudes have become bitter against him. Yeah. It changed immediately.
Yes.
And they were so sympathetic towards him, and they started embracing the children making noise now did not become an irritation. It actually became a way they were seeing,
to sympathize
with
they
were sympathizing with those children.
Yes. To
so you're right.
Yes.
How we say it.
So you have to really move from the first level. The first level is usually judgment, but you have to really force yourself to understand how comes these people did this. You see, like I've visited the jails, and sometimes when you listen to those men and those women, sometimes if you are keen to listen, because most of the time we are not keen to listen, you might even understand why they did some of the things they did. But we are not keen to listen, and maybe that's one of the reasons why we don't have strong relationships. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be judged.
So listening is very key.
It's terribly key. Let me use the word terribly key, because I think it's the foundation of everything. You see, when we meet, boy meet girl, and now a relationship is building, because we are talking about love here. One of the things that they offer each other is a listening ear.
Yes.
Everyone wants to listen to the other one. You know, they listen even unto the night, and they tell, Sita kata simu, kata wewe. You know, they are trying to offer each other the ear. Just say what you have to say. Speak what you have to speak. And that is what builds that huge connection. So I have this summary of building intimacy in one word. And I borrowed this from the same man I've shared with you, Kingsley Okonkwo. It's not original with me, but I find it to work so well beyond the other strategies that I have. The word intimate, the word intimate, we can break it down. And the first letter in the word intimate is I. You have to be intentional. Intentional about that relationship. Relationships are not built by accidents. They are never built by accident. And if you want to know this is true, the girl you're with, the man you're with, it was not accidental that you are with them. There was a time you used to call, you used to go visit them, you used to buy them something, you used to send them something, you are there, you spent time with them. It was intentional every day, every morning, every afternoon, every evening. You cannot build intimacy without intentionality. Even with God, you cannot. If you don't pray, it is you don't have to follow your feelings. You must be there. So number one, be intentional. Number two, meet their needs. This is N. Meet their needs.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to relationship needs, they are very unique. It is not like the way you provide food, although food is necessary. It's not the way you provide rent, although rent is necessary. When it comes to relationship needs, you have to understand the love language of the other person. Because what is love to you, how love appears to you, is not necessarily how love appears to them. And this is a huge difference. And people must come to an understanding that, first of all, men and women are not the same.
They say man from, is it Mars or
Mars?
Women from Venus?
Venus, yes. They are totally different. Even the idea of equality to me doesn't work. The only idea that works is equity. But equality for me has refused to work.
Yeah, that's something from the pits of hell.
Yes, because I find men and women to be really different. But they are complementary. They are different but complementary. So, for example, just one example, there are people who their sense of love is touch. Before you touch them, they really don't believe you mean it. And these are the people who love hugs, who love holding hands, who love kisses, who love sitting next to each other, very close to each other. And that's the way they receive love. The other people who, for them to really mean love, you really have to spend time with them. Have to sit down, watch the moon together, watch the sun together, watch whatever you have to watch, or even a movie. But you just feel like until you can spend time with me, you really don't love me. So,
you remind me the things we have done for love. I remember when we got married.
Yes.
I decided, it's one of the ways that I'm going to build this relationship.
Yes.
That being together.
Together, yes.
One time I took her to the salon. It was the worst mistake I've ever done. Because when we go to the barber,
yes,
at most 45 minutes to 1 hour, you're done.
You're done, yes.
I stayed there for almost half a day. And then the gossip, the talk that was going on there,
yes.
I was wondering, I will never be able to survive this. We took long and long and long. That was the first
and the last.
And the last.
Your romantic gesture.
That one, I just told her, my dear, this one,
it's not for me.
It's like sitting on a porcupine. Said, no way, I'm not doing this again. And she understood me. Because me, I was so bored.
Yes.
But anyway.
So it doesn't happen the same way. So every person is different. So you see, you had a struggle with that. Maybe another man doesn't have a struggle at all with that. So we are all different. Find what they consider to be love and apply to them. Number 3 is T. We are following the word intimate. Number 3 is trust. Trust is keeping your promise. saying accurately where you've been, and sharing accurately what your intention are.
And I see you're emphasizing accurately.
Accurately, yeah. It's more about transparency, being open with each other. Without trust, if I notice that you lied to me, that you are with Fred and you are not with him, and the next time you lie to me, you are in the mall and you're not there, it's almost impossible to build any lasting relationship. Or the suspicion will bleed into other things and it will bleed over the relationship.
Because I'll keep on asking
questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do I know that what you're telling me now is the truth?
Yeah. How can I be sure even of the love?
Yes.
If you can lie about the mall,
yes.
How can we believe this other one? You know,
Yeah.
Too many questions.
Yes.
The other letter is I.
So let's start. I.
Intentionality.
You got to be intentional in
yes.
the relationship, meaning you got to invest in that relationship.
Yeah. Consciously, not accidental.
Yes, consciously. You're doing this because this is what I want to achieve.
Yes.
Their needs.
Meet their needs. Yes.
You got to meet their needs.
Yes, as they meet you as well. Yes.
And then now T.
Yeah, build trust.
Yes.
Yes. Now I is interest.
Interest.
You have to show interest in them. There's no point of meeting my needs, buying me stuff, and you don't show any interest in me. You have to show interest in the things they love. If your wife loves a soap opera, you have to suffer it sometime, my friend. You have to suffer. Yes, you have to show interest in some of the things they love. If she loves praying, man, you have to fire your tongues for a number of hours and be there for them. So interest is very important. People feel like if you are rooting for me, man, I'm on your side. But if there's no sign that you are rooting for me, why should I? Why should I? So interest. The other letter is intimate, M. Manage your emotions.
Yes.
And this is where the fire is.
This is where the rubber meets the road.
Oh yes. Your emotions are true. But your emotions, you don't have to follow them always.
True. Very true.
It is true that you feel angry. But it is not true that you have to fight.
You don't deny your feelings.
No, don't deny. They are true.
Actually, that was one of the biggest
epiphany.
Sorry?
It is an epiphany.
Yes.
It's a realization, an awakening.
That gave me breakthrough in my life.
Yes.
Because I think when I started my Christian walk, I used to try and resist. And deny feelings.
Yeah.
And it would end up hurting me.
Absolutely. It always does.
Yes. So until after one time I went to the Maurice Cerullo conference.
Yes.
And he was talking about that. It was talking about God's healing. And he said, God does not expect you to deny your emotions.
He gave them to you.
Because he's the one who gave them to you.
Yes.
But he does not expect you to be controlled by them.
Absolutely.
So after that, they come and I will say, and I would acknowledge, yes,
I feel one,
they're there.
2, 3
this is what I'm feeling.
Yes.
But
don't have to respond.
I don't have to respond.
Or I can respond differently.
Yes.
So
that sets so many things free.
Right. It even sets so many things right. Remember Jesus on the cross. At one point, he literally felt that God had left him. Even he put it to words, Father, why have you left me? Now, Jesus still had the power to come out of that cross.
Yes.
And yet he did not respond.
Yes.
Those guys were beating him up. He had the power to stop them. Remember, one gentleman was cut his ear.
Yes.
And they had come to arrest him. He took the ear and put it back. So what does that show you? The emotions are there. And Jesus did not even one time try to deny them, but he chose how to respond. Now, the younger generation, our Gen Z, and I have a question, by the way. Please remind me before we end the program.
Yes.
One person asked me directly, what are the things we should not do in dating? And I have 7 points. We'll just highlight on them. But our Gen Z and the younger people feel that I have to respond to all my feelings. And that's not true. That's not right. And the way to test it is, this cup has water and I'm feeling thirsty. That's the accurate feeling that I have. But before I drink, Fred tells me that water is poisoned. What changes? My feeling immediately changes and I stop. So your feelings can change.
And they come and they go.
They are like,
they oscillate.
They keep on oscillating. They are not trustable.
Yes, actually, you cannot base anything on them. I was watching Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Kobe Bryant, this young basketballer who passed away.
Yes.
And he was being asked, he was being told he had just lost a series. And he was there just, you could tell he was in deep thought.
Yes.
And somebody told him, oh, you've lost the match, a very key match. And he's the one who threw the ball that did not go through.
Yes. So it was all on him.
Yes. So his mind was there. And this guy, the reporter asked him, Kobe, the miss, you missed the shot.
Yes.
That must make you feel so bad.
Yes.
And he looked at the reporter and told him, what has feeling got to do with this?
It doesn't count.
The feelings don't count at all.
Count in this game.
Yeah, and he told him, I was thinking through how I can make it better the next time.
Yes.
What didn't I do
right?
Yes. It has nothing to do with what I feel. And I looked at him and I thought, wow, that's a man fully in control of his emotion.
He has been able to separate, these are my feelings and this is me. So I can feel the feelings, but I'll choose how to handle them.
Yes.
I am in charge.
Yes.
And that's the level of mindset we need to have for the relationship. That it is not the feelings that control the relationship. Otherwise, it is us. It is us who are in charge. And the minute you choose to respond to every feeling that comes your way, you are literally handing over the power to the feelings.
So you're taking control of
your life and the relationship.
Giving it to feelings.
Feelings, yeah.
To govern the relationship.
To govern them, yes. And once you are the guy who follows the feelings, everything we are discussing here with Fred is going to be an illusion for you. Because imagine a man who set his goal this year to buy a home, and then they are in February and they don't have the money, and there's that feeling of desperation. If you give in, you've lost the dream.
Yes.
Every day you give in into the feelings, you've lost the dream. But acknowledge the feelings and move forward.
Just say, yes, it's true. I am feeling like this.
Yes.
I will not deny.
Deny, yes.
But I am not controlled by these feelings.
Yes.
I move.
I move on despite whatever is happening.
In fact, there is a man who said, I do not walk according to my feelings.
Yes.
I feel my actions.
Yes.
I do my actions and my action generate feelings.
Give me an experience.
Yes.
But what I feel, I don't relate with it.
Yes.
Wow. So make sure you manage your emotions. The other letter is A. Intimate. A. Advancement. And I think we alluded to this last week, that you have to be conscious of advancement as a people. The person you're with, in love with, you must help them advance as they help you advance. If you don't, you guys, if you are not growing, you are dying. very soon the relationship will die, because times are changing, responsibilities are increasing, age is coming, maturity is coming. But if you are not changing with the changes of life, the changes alone are enough to separate you.
Yes.
Like literally, the changes alone will separate you. So if you don't do something towards growth, then ultimately you are growing away from each other.
You're growing apart.
Yes. So you must always have a point where you are working towards, be it a home, be it raising your children, be it educating your children, be it getting that degree, be it building yourself up spiritually. There must always be a common goal at home.
That all of you are working
that
towards.
all of you are growing towards. That is one thing, one of the things I've found to keep a relationship very strong. I found out that me and my wife relate better when we have a project.
Yeah, true.
If you're building a house, you know, you don't even have time to disagree.
Yes.
Because she has to be on that side. She has to take care of the fundis. I have to be on this side. I have to take care of the purchases. And we are coordinating, you know, has the car arrived? Has the lorry arrived? Have we gotten the stones? And you find yourself working very well once you are advancing. But if you stay the same way you came in, you grow stale, you grow cold. And you start moving apart. And that's the reason why God gave man work before he brought a woman. Because there was work to be done. There was work, there was the worker, and there was the helper. So the idea of coming together and not growing is one of the key reasons why people drift.
So there was work, the worker, and the helper.
And the helper.
So we got to keep it like this. There has to be work.
Work, yes.
There has to be something that you're working together towards.
Yes.
And then the key driver is the worker.
The worker, yes.
Which is the man here.
The man here, the visionary.
Then, yes, the visionary.
Yes.
And then there's the helper.
Yes.
Who's helping the visionary to achieve the work.
To achieve the goal, yes.
That sounds really good.
You have to be there. And you'll find even in your darkest moments, if you have something working, you'll always find a reason to connect. You will have to find a reason. Because what happens if the auctioneer is coming? The issue with your wife will be set aside. They are coming.
Yes.
Please, what do we do now?
Yes.
Yes. We have to handle them. And things like that are really helpful. The other letter is T. You have to spend time. Love is not built with instances. It's built on time. Time. You have to give everything.
It's like wine.
It's like wine. As it ages, it grows, you know. So you have to create time. Create time for your wife, for your husband. Create time for your children. Create time for your workers. If, for example, you are an employer, make sure you have a meeting and spend conscious time with them. That is the only way you can build a connection. This issue of WhatsApping things that should be done, you know, WhatsApping, emailing things, that is, it should be done after you have spent time as reminders, as things to keep people going, to keeping people in touch. But there's always should be a conscious process of meeting and spending time together. And the last letter is E. Be exclusive. When we talk about love, there are things that must be exclusive when it comes to love. Either it is your body, either it is some words. There's a lady I was talking to, she calls me honey. And I am just her mentor. And I told her, this is now one of the reasons why you will never have a man.
Yes.
Because if you are calling everyone honey, 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 sweetheart, what will your man get?
Yes.
What is he now if everyone is your honey?
Yes.
So there are things that should be exclusive between you and the person you are in love with. And they should know
that this is exclusive.
The name darling is my name. Or anytime you hear darling being mentioned by Fred, that is me.
Yes.
It is not anybody's.
Yes.
You can have these good names you give each other. You can have these special places you visit together.
Yeah.
You can have these special days. There are people who spend, let's say, evening or Fridays. The wife knows every Friday evening is my day. Nobody shares this one. And so you have to build exclusive things for the people that you have. And I always tell people, even employers, there are things that should be exclusive to your employees, and they should know that that there are things that I share with them that I don't share with everyone. There are advantages I extend to them as their boss that I don't share with everyone, and there are generally things that are exclusive to my people. So if you have a relationship with everyone, you should be keen to ask yourself, what is it that is exclusive between me and Fred? Yes. What is that is exclusive between me and my wife? And if you can't find it, oh, your relationship has no life.
Kuna ka question mark
yeah, iko ward na ukicheza itaenda ICU. Na ICU mostly they go to morgue.
Amelala salama.
Amelala salama. So just implement the word intimate, and intimacy is going to be built.
Now, if peradventure some of these things are so broken down in a relationship,
yes,
is it possible to build them back?
Yes, 100%. 100%. These things, they are principles. And you see what happens with principles, they work no matter who applies them.
They guarantee results.
They guarantee results. So what you have to do, you are already not in a good situation at home, and you've realized that I haven't been intentional. So don't even demand from your wife that she should call you. You start. Call her in the morning, call her during the day, call her in the evening. You are not intentional about texting her something good. Tell her, you're beautiful today. I like the tea you've made for me today. Appreciate her. Compliment regularly and honestly. And don't even expect. Just get going. Just get into it. Just do it. Like a stupid man, like a stupid woman. Just do it. And little by little, they start warming up. They will not answer you today, probably not tomorrow, but maybe next week, they might say thank you.
Yes.
That's already the first step. Keep going, keep hitting. You know, it's all about cutting the tree.
Yes.
Pick your tree, pick your axe, go at it.
Hit at it as much.
5 times today, 5 times tomorrow, 5 times the other day. Just keep hitting at it, and sure enough, as the sun shines, that tree will eventually come down.
Yes.
So just investigate in some of the points we've shared and start implementing. You didn't have a family goal before? Set one and start moving. You didn't avail time before? Just be there. Don't even talk. Just tell them, I've come. I just want to spend some time with you. We could take a soda and just sit. You have something to say, I'll be glad to listen. If you don't have, I'm just here, man. We are going to enjoy the soda.
Yes.
Just be intentional. Build trust. Report yourself. Sometimes I tell men, report yourself. Go and I went and met Fred.
Yes.
Then went to the mall.
Yes.
Then passed by the petrol station. I filled the car and I just come home. So you're trying to build that atmosphere of transparency.
There's a feeling at times when you're too open in the sense that I went to this place, I was doing this. There's a feeling like Kwani, I'm the junior in this relationship. I have to keep on telling you where I've been, because in school, you used to tell, please teacher, may I go to the toilet?
Yes.
So you at times may almost feel like it's again a situation of, please teacher, may I go to the toilet?
No, no. This is the thing, and this is the difference between men and women. And I'm not saying this in favor of women, but I'm saying this in favor of men, to give them an understanding of what we are dealing with. Men are the guy who give bottom line.
Yes.
How was your day? Good. How did the show go? Fine. Those are the answers that come from men. But women, prefer details, and they are detailed in nature. It's not something that she wants. It's something that is in her. She needs the details. Women are more talkative. Remember, they have 25,000 words to finish daily.
Yes.
A man has 8,000, and by the time he's coming from work,
he's done with 999.
Yes, just and one word. Yeah. That day was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Done for them.
Yeah.
You know? So you have to just get the difference between us two and know that she needs that information. So you are not in any way becoming a junior. You are building the culture of transparency as you meet her needs. So as you report yourself, she starts having ideas of how my man operates. Wow, he goes here, goes there. So next time I can ask him for this. Next time he can take me there. You are meeting her needs and building intimacy. As you talk to her,
yes.
Oh, love is happening. You keep asking for ideas of building love. Love is already happening. You know? It's going to be a good night in the evening as you talk to her. So just make sure you insist on yourself to do that. You are not in any way a junior. You are not in any way a junior by reporting yourself. It's something that you are building. And you will harvest from that. You're actually the one to harvest.
Yes.
Because after she had a good day,
you'll have a good day.
You'll have a good evening. You also have a good day as well.
At least you won't have somebody who's grumpy. So remember, as we bring this to a close, these are the books. I would encourage, if possible, you can get copies. There's In Pursuit of Growth, which has quite a number of what we've spoken about.
Yes.
It is here, and it's a great book. It talks about how you can be able to build that inner you.
Yes.
Break out
from where you are stuck.
Yeah, break out from where you're stuck and go after what you really are seeking.
Yes.
And then the other one is self-discovery for self-recovery. This one comes in two. It has a workbook and it has the book itself. So these are the books. If you want those books, you can call the author, and the number is
0719 489 372. 0719 489 372.
Yeah.
Before we close, please give me an extra minute
to
answer one of our watchers who is called Anthony Moiruri.
Yes.
Who asked a question on what are the things we shouldn't do in dating. And I'll highlight them for him. Number one, you shouldn't ignore the other person's faith and philosophy.
Faith and philosophy.
Yes. These are the beliefs they have.
Yes.
Beliefs control behavior.
Yes.
So what you ignore is exactly what will eat you up in the relationship. Number two, you should not ignore their history.
Yes.
Where people come from determines what they do in the future. Now, when I talk about history, there are many areas to focus on. Number one is the body count.
Yes.
How many people have they slept around with? That will affect you. I think we alluded to that last time. How were they raised? A person from a single parent home has a different perspective from the one who's been parented by two parents. An orphan has an even different perspective.
Yes.
A boy raised by a mom alone is different from a girl raised by a mom alone. A boy raised by a dad alone is different from a boy raised by a
True.
So it's very different. Please look at their history and ask yourself, what have they done to address that history?
Yes.
All right. The other thing, don't play husband/wife roles during dating.
Yes.
Na hapa ndio tulisema mambo ya allowance, weka kando. Mambo ya sex, weka kando. Kufulia mtu nguo, kulipia mtu school fees, hiyo tulisema weka kando. Please watch the last week's episode.
Yes.
The other thing you should not do, don't invest together.
When you're dating, don't invest together.
To the moon and back. Don't buy a land together,
Yes.
please. Don't open a business together.
Yes.
Let her invest, you invest, and whatever you have when you get married, is it not all yours
Yes.
in the end?
Yeah.
But what if the peradventure you invest together
And then you
don't
break
get
up.
married? Yeah. One of the person is going to be stolen from.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to avoid that. The other thing, don't ignore their social class. This I usually summarize it with marry your budget. Now, if you are a young man from a poor family who has gotten a good job,
Yes.
your case is totally different from a girl who is from a rich family and has got the same job. She has never lived a house below 1 bedroom.
Yes.
You are living in a bed-sitter. She has never gone to Githurai, the marketplace, to shop. She shops in a mall. You shop in the marketplace. You are totally different. And this thing will depress you deeply when you are in the marriage because their level of mind and where they operate from
It's very different.
although you might have equal money, they might be very, very different. So observe their social class and make sure that you choose someone within your social class. Boys sometimes ask me, oh, there are no good girls. I always tell them there are good girls from the low end and there are good girls from the top end. There
True.
are beautiful girls all across.
Yes.
So you have no reason. You have no reason. Number 6, don't ignore their health. A lot of time, our young people, Gen Z and everyone else, you sleep with someone before you've tested. Man, siku hizi hata ARV mambo wanakuwa tricky.
Trump ameharibu maneno.
Mambo imechemka. Please, 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 my dear young ones, don't ignore people's health. Even sometimes people have conditions that they cannot give birth, and you want to have children, but they are not fertile or they have challenges. You have to really go and do a health test before you commit to anyone. Sometimes people have diseases, sometimes people have family issues that are going around, and you just need to know, all right? And the last thing, don't ignore the due process to a marriage. And the due process, I give 5 steps. Make sure you go to premarital counseling. Make sure you do a health test, a health check. Make sure you visit families, both
Very
sides.
important. Yeah.
Both sides, not your mother alone or his mother. Both sides. Make sure you go to your priest. Even if you don't do a wedding, let it be clear that you are moving to the next stage.
Yes.
And at least, the bare minimum, have a marriage certificate.
Yes.
The bare minimum.
True.
Don't ignore those things if you are serious about going forward. We said that marriages don't go wrong most of the time. 90% cases, they start wrong. So don't start wrong.
Well said. Well said. At least with this, you can be able to do something. You can create something within your relationship. You can have dates with your daughters. You can have dates with your wife. Set separate days to just enjoy all of them at once, and then separately to enjoy them individually. At least I learned that from one of the guys who's doing Man Enough.
Yes.
So with that, we got to bring the curtains down on the show. Do have yourself a lovely morning. God bless you. Let's do this again next week on Wednesday, same time, as we look at other aspects of the mindset.